In today's video, we're going to be talking about some new fragrances and some hyped fragrances. So if you're interested, then just keep watching. Hi, my name is Ayesha from simplyayesha.com. Here on YouTube, I make videos about fragrance, beauty, luxury, and lifestyle. If those are things you're interested in, please subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So there have been a lot of new fragrances coming out this year, and some of them have been great. Some of them ain't for me. However, I do have about 5 new fragrances that we're going to talk about today. And I wanted to do this video because sometimes I try stuff and I don't really tell y'all about it, especially with decants. Or I try something and I plan on doing a full bottle review of it and then I don't. So this is going to be kind of like an in-between of a haul and a full-on review. If you've ever seen my Love, Like, or Let Down series, in those videos, I give you guys my first impression of a fragrance, but then I go on to wear it and give you guys a full, like, very detailed review. So this video that we're going to do today is not going to be as detailed as a Love, Like, or Let Down. However, it's not going to be as glossed over as a haul video would be for me. So it's going to sit somewhere in the middle. This is my first time kind of doing one of these videos. So let me know if you like them, and that just helps me prepare my content going forward. So let's go ahead and get into these fragrances. So we're going to start out with the fragrance that really made me want to do this video. So the fragrance I'm referring to is Quattro Pizzi from Xerjoff. So if you know me and you are familiar with my collection, you probably know I am a huge Xerjoff fan. So when this came out, I remember Marcy or Marcelina Teresa talking about it. She was able to smell it at Essence, I believe. But I remember when this came out and it wasn't available in the US, I immediately wanted it because I am a huge Xerjoff fan. This sounded like something I would love. So when it came to the US, and it actually came to fragrancebuy.ca, shout out to Marcy for letting me know. Like, she slid in my DMs, was like, hey, just want to let you know. So shout out to Marcy for letting me know. But when it came, I immediately ordered. I wasn't familiar with the notes. Like, I looked them up like when it first came out. But like before I ordered it, I just literally added to the cart and checked out. So I ordered this with the thoughts that I was going to make it a part of my Love, Like, or Let Down series. And I filmed my first impression, but I never filmed that follow-up portion to it. So we'll kind of get into why, but let me talk about the fragrance first. So when I smell this fragrance, what I get is a smooth, but also bright floral scent. So to me, I believe tuberose is the main floral. At least that's what I think I smell in it, like a tuberose. It's creamy, but there's also this bright kind of zesty nature to it. And to me, it smells like, I don't know, like lime or bergamot, something like that, but not extremely sharp. There is a little bit of spice in here, but it's really hard for me to put my finger on what. This fragrance gives me a warm, but also bright, cool vibe. In the same way that Soleil Neige by Tom Ford, if you've smelled that, in the same way that does, this one kind of gives me the same type of feeling. Like, it's warm, it smells solar, but at the same time, it's kind of bright and icy in a way. I don't know how they do that. It's magic, perfume magic, I guess. I don't know. But somehow they've been able to convey that to me. So this smells warm. In my opinion, it's a very pretty feminine scent. I couldn't really imagine a man wearing this. As far as performance, on me, this lasted a good probably 7 hours or so. And I got a good bubble of scent. Like, people around me, not super close to me, would smell this on me for probably about 2 to 3 hours, and then it turned into a skin scent for me. Now, just to let you guys know, to give you background information, when I got this, it was summer. I live in a very hot area. It is common that fragrances don't perform that well on me in the summer because it is so humid here, and I believe that humidity just sucks up those fragrances. And I'm moisturized, so don't say nothing about that, okay? I stay moisturized, I spray my clothes, I do all that. But for me, when I'm out in the elements, it's not uncommon that things don't last as long just because of the, I don't even think it's the heat. I think it's more of the moisture in the air where I live. Anyway, for me, the performance was fine. I wasn't upset about it, but it's not a beast by any means, in my opinion. So the reason that it took me so long to review this fragrance is, honestly, I started out wearing it. Y'all know when I do those Love, Like, or Let Downs, I'll wear it consecutively, usually for about 3 days, and then come back and give you guys a review. I started out wearing it and I just got bored of it. That's not a good sign, right? I got bored of it. It's been sitting, waiting for me to review it. And I finally was just like, Ayesha, you really don't want to review this fragrance. And to me, that tells me that it's not something that I love. It is a pretty scent. It is something that I can appreciate. But for some reason, it's just not something I'm gravitating towards. Now, maybe if I would have gotten this, say, in January and started wearing it during the spring, because the spring is quite warm for us, I feel like maybe I would have liked it more, because to me, this smells more like a spring scent, whereas in the summer, I'm all about like the light, airy, fruity, or musky type scents. This one is more of a floral scent, and I don't know. I just don't love it. I will say I lost my first impression of this. I think I deleted the footage, but I will say it was a love at first sniff for me. But as I continued to wear it, I just got bored of it. So I do want to compare it to two fragrances for you all. The first comparison that we're going to make is with Soleil de Feu by Tom Ford. Now, this is another solar tuberose scent, and I feel like I've heard people saying that this is similar, or Quattro Pizzi is similar to Soleil de Feu, and that's the reason I decided to compare them for you all. I have to say, I don't think these fragrances are alike. Yes, they both have tuberose. Yes, they're both like solar feeling scents. However, Soleil de Feu to me is a lot darker. It's a lot spicier. It's a lot richer, less floral. So yes, they could fall in the same family. Like if you like one, you may like the other, but to me, they don't really smell alike. The other fragrance I want to compare this to is one that I was reminded of when I was wearing Quattro Pizzi, and that is Love Delight by Amouage. So this fragrance I actually did a review on earlier this year. I will link it for you all, but this fragrance and Quattro Pizzi do not smell exactly the same or anything like that, but I feel like they just fall into the same category of fragrances for me. So this is another floral gourmand, but this one has a ginger note, which kind of appeals more to me. I wish there was more ginger in this fragrance, but long story short, with Love Delight, I love the smell of it, but it's not something that I really expected from the House of Amouage. I have been enjoying it, but it's definitely not anywhere near my favorites from the brand. And I feel like Quattro Pizzi kind of falls into that same category. Like, I really love Xerjoff, and this just doesn't smell like something that Xerjoff would release. It smells quite mainstream, which is nothing wrong with that. It's just that I feel like for me, these kind of fall into the same type of category, and they're just not a class of fragrances that I go for very often. Both are very pretty. I would recommend both. I think they're going to be good sellers. But honestly, for me, I'm glad I got this small bottle, because I was kind of regretting getting the small bottle, y'all, when I first smelled it. But I'm glad I got the small bottle, because I do like it and I will wear it, and I'll probably use this bottle up at some point. But as of right now, it's just not something that I feel like I have to have. So again, that is Quattro Pizzi by Xerjoff. So I think I spent way too long on that first fragrance. So the rest of these I'll try to get through a little bit quicker, but I really wanted to give y'all details on that one because I was initially planning on doing a full-on review. So this next fragrance is one that I have a decant of, and I believe this has been out a few months, but it is very popular, especially on Instagram and TikTok. This is from the brand Olika, and this is called Nota Sugar. Now, I may be pronouncing the brand name wrong, and I apologize if I am, but I believe it's Olika if I remember correctly. Anyway, this has been making the waves. Like I said, this is a decant. I picked this up from Mercari, but if I can find another place for you to get a decant of this, I will link it in the description box below. However, when I got this decant, I actually had already got a sample of this because this had been so hyped that when I made an order from Lucky Scent, I ended up getting this as one of my free samples that I requested. And I didn't know how I felt about it. And then the girls kept talking about it. And I was like, let me just order a decant. So that's what I did. And I have to say, this is not for me. Okay. It is not for me. Let's talk about how it smells. So to me, it is a sugary sweet vanilla with all these tropical fruits mixed in. And I feel like the main note that stands out to me is maybe pineapple. Yeah, it smells like a pineapple scent to me, a very juicy like pineapple candy mixed with this sweet sugary vanilla and some other fruity notes as well. That all sounds good in theory. However, when I got my sample, I immediately thought this, but I was like, you know what, give it a chance. It's just a dabber sample. So when I got my decant and sprayed it on, I immediately thought the same thing. It smells extremely fake to me. And I don't like that. I don't like the way this smells on my skin. I don't like the way this smells on paper. It sounds like something I should love, but for me, it missed the mark. It missed the mark because there is something in this that makes it smell extremely fake. It smells cheap to me. I feel bad, y'all. Y'all know I don't like dogging out fragrances, and I don't want to dog this because so many people love it. So I'm sure, you know, we all have different opinions, but for me, this smells not good. Like, I wore this to bed last night again to test it out, and even wearing it to bed, I was kind of like, I want to wash this off. Yeah. Anyway, it's sweet and sugary. So if you like sweet, sugary, fruity scents and you don't mind like a youthful touch, you still may want to get your nose on this. I'm just one opinion. There's so many more out there. So don't count it out just because I'm saying I don't like it. If it's something that sounds interesting to you, still maybe try to get your nose on it, but I would not blind buy it. Now, as far as performance on this, I feel like this performs okay. Well, I guess for this type of scent, it performs well because I'm able to get about 7 hours out of this fragrance, and I feel like it projected for about 4 hours. So I feel like that's actually pretty good for performance for this type of fragrance. And as far as the season I think would be most appropriate, I believe this would be great for spring and summer. I think this smells too like fun and fruity for fall winter, even though it's a vanilla scent. Now, this fragrance is not for me. However, I did want to compare it or tell you guys a combination that I think would be better. Just gonna be honest. If you are thinking you want Nota Sugar, but you're on the fence about it, I would say that if you have these two fragrances, put them together. So this is Holidays from Mancera. And I love this fragrance. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people say it smells synthetic. But when you smell this next to Nota Sugar, nah, sis. Nota Sugar smells way more synthetic in my opinion. So Holidays is like a thick vanilla coconut type scent. It goes that sunscreeny route. It's a great performer. It is a summertime staple for me. And I think if you combine that with Miami Nectar, and I did try this on my hand, I didn't full body wear it, but I tried these two together on my hand. If you combine it with Miami Nectar, I feel like you get something similar to Nota Sugar, but way more high quality smelling. Miami Nectar, if you have not smelled it yet, it is a quick explanation. I call it a watered down pina colada is what it smells like to me. So pineapple, coconut, watery, probably some other fruits in there as well, but it smells like a tropical drink. It is not heavy. It is light. It is something you're going to have to reapply, but it's one that I absolutely love. And when you put these together, I feel like they smell similar to Nota Sugar, but better. A better version, y'all. So yeah, if you have these already, maybe try this out. Or if you don't care about the fruitiness and you just want like same vibes, I would go for Holidays before I went for Nota Sugar any day. So yeah, this next fragrance is one that I picked up because everybody's been talking about it. The bottle looks gorgeous. But I felt like it wasn't a safe blind buy for me. And so I ended up not getting a bottle. I got a decant to see if I wanted to order the bottle. So the fragrance I'm talking about is from Cirque du Soleil. And this is just Parfum Cirque du Soleil. So I just have a decant of it. That's a picture of what the bottle looks like on there. Not sure if you can see it. But anyway, the bottle is gorgeous. However, when it came out, first of all, the fact that I saw that Cirque du Soleil was coming out with a fragrance, I was like, what? Like, why? I didn't think it was gonna be good. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, that was my first thoughts when I heard about it. And then I heard it had a popcorn note. And popcorn notes and fragrances, I found it's just not something I really enjoy. I know that's like a niche smell and some people love it, but for me, I don't really think I enjoy that. So I knew I wasn't gonna blind buy this fragrance, and but people kept talking about how good it was, and so I was curious. So I went ahead and ordered a decant, and I have to say I was pleasantly surprised, y'all. I was pleasantly surprised. So when I smell this fragrance, I do get a buttery popcorn at the opening, but it is not thick and heavy and extremely food-like. Like, you could smell it, but it's done in a very smooth way. Also, in addition to popcorn, I definitely get some fruitiness, and I feel like I'm picking up on apple. I get some vanilla, and I will say on paper, like initially when I got this, I got this and Nota Sugar the same day, right? I sprayed both of them on paper and was like, I don't like either one of them. And even smelling this now on paper, It's okay. Like it smelled, to me, it smells kind of Play-Doh-ish vanilla on paper. However, on the body, I don't know if it's just my skin. On the body, this warms up and it smells so high quality. Like I was honestly shocked because I really didn't even want to spray this on my full body, but I took one for the team, y'all. And I was really happy with it. On the day that I wore it, I was going out running errands. So I was out and about. It's hot, like I said, and I just was really enjoying the smell of this. Now, as far as performance, I've only worn this. I've worn it full body once, and I've worn it like just testing it out on my skin and on paper as well. So full body, when I wore this, I was able to smell it clearly on myself for probably about 2 hours. After that, it turned into a skin scent, and I feel like it was gone around the 5 hour mark. So for me, the performance on this wasn't that great. I did spray my clothes, and I felt like I couldn't smell it on there either. Now, I might have went nose blind to it. I didn't have anybody who was helping me test this out or anything, but I would say that on me, the performance on this wasn't great. But for this type of scent, when I in the hot weather, it wasn't a deal breaker for me because I really enjoy wearing it, and I don't want anything super sweet the entire day when it's really hot, because then I get tired of it and it bothers me. So I'm really happy that I tried this on my body. I will continue to wear this one. I do have some comparisons for you, and the first comparison I want to make is one that I thought of while I was wearing the fragrance, and this is from Nobile 1942. This is La Danza de Libellule, aka the dance of the dragonfly. So this, to me, whenever I love this fragrance, by the way, whenever I smell this fragrance, I think it smells like a apple fragrance, but a very transparent, like sparkling apple with some caramel undertones. There is no caramel note listed in this fragrance, but that's how I think of it, like a caramel apple sparkling fragrance. I love this fragrance. I think it wears so well on the skin, like the way it smells on you. So when I was wearing Cirque du Soleil, I thought about this one because the apple note on my skin from Cirque du Soleil was really coming out, if there's an apple note, but it was smelling like apple on my skin. It was really coming out when I was wearing it. So if you have La Danza, I don't know that you necessarily need Cirque du Soleil, but if you like one, I feel like you would like the other. I do prefer, like if I had to compare them, I definitely prefer this one. I think it smells better. But you know, that's just a subjective thing. The other fragrance that I wanted to compare it to is What About Pop from the House of Oud. So What About Pop to me is a true like popcorn scent. So it smells like buttery popcorn, caramel, sugar, vanilla. As this fragrance dries down, the popcorn note to me always sticks around, but I've heard other people say they don't smell the popcorn after a while. But for me, maybe because I'm not the biggest fan of popcorn, for me the popcorn kind of sticks around too long. However, as you wear this fragrance, it does become more vanilla caramel, but for me, I still smell the popcorn note. So if I was choosing between this and Cirque du Soleil, it'd be Cirque du Soleil all day. The only reason that I still have this in my collection is honestly for the bottle. Like I feel like it's artwork. So I'm okay that I spent the money on it because I'm using it as artwork. But I don't necessarily recommend this scent unless you know you love a popcorn note. So I've never tried this combination, but if you already have these two fragrances in your collection, maybe try it. You may get something similar to Cirque du Soleil, but I honestly feel if you really like the idea of Cirque du Soleil and your tastes are similar to mine, I feel like this one is a good choice. But don't trust it on paper. Spray it on your body and see how it does. Because I will probably, like, if I go through this decant, I may get a whole bottle of this because I love the bottle. I really enjoy wearing this fragrance. And I don't need it, but I kind of want it. So, yeah. This last fragrance was sent to me, and it's something that when I got it, I was so excited because since I started seeing promo images for it, I knew I wanted it, but I didn't want to go out and smell it at all because I had already been notified that it was going to be sent to me. So I just held off until they sent it to me. So the fragrance we're talking about is Commodity Juice. So this came out maybe like a month or so ago, and you see the promo images, there's these juicy berries and it just looks delicious, right? They did a great job with their promo on this. I will have to say though, when I smelled this fragrance, it wasn't what I was expecting. So when I smell this, I get a bright burst of juicy fruits. And to me, the main fruit that I smell is raspberry, and it is not a sweet raspberry. It is quite tart. So you have this tartness from that raspberry, but I also feel like there's something else, like some other berry in the background, maybe like strawberry or something. Like strawberry to me, like natural strawberries are not really that sweet. And that's what I get from this fragrance. So I was expecting something more like juicy sweet, and that's not what I get. This is more of a tart berry. I would say that as this fragrance dries down, the floral note to me really kind of goes away, but the raspberry sticks around. Also a woodiness comes into play. So I would say that in the dry down, this fragrance becomes less juicy and more like just a tart raspberry woody type scent. As far as performance, I felt like this projected really well. I actually wore this to the gym and I only sprayed on a few sprays, and my trainer kept telling me how good I smell. So I feel like it projects really well, especially on warm skin. And as far as longevity, I was able to get maybe about 7 hours out of this, but it became a skin scent probably around the 4 to 5 hour mark. So I feel like that's actually pretty good for this type of fragrance. So I will say that when I got my PR package from Commodity and initially sprayed it, I immediately thought of Angel Nova from Mugler. That's what it immediately smelled like to me. And I have to say that first spray, I was quite disappointed because I was expecting something different out of this. I didn't want another Angel Nova. I love Angel Nova, but to me, what it smelled like at first spray was a not as good version of Angel Nova. So Angel Nova is a raspberry rose Akigala wood scent, and I love it. It gets compared to Delina from Parfums de Marly. I think they smell like similar vein, but I don't think they smell the same. I actually don't really like Delina, but that's immediately what I thought of when it comes to juice. However, I will say that to me, Angel Nova smells juicier and sweeter than Commodity Juice does. Also, the dry down of Angel Nova, to me, it kind of stays linear. Like, to me, it kind of smells the same the entire time. It just gets softer. Whereas with Juice, to me, it gets woodier and less sweet, more tart in the dry down. The other fragrance that I wanted to compare Juice to is Rouge Trafalgar from Christian Dior. So this fragrance I've had for a while. It is a juicy scent, but it's juicy raspberry that is not sweet. This is not a sweet scent. It almost kind of smells bitter. I don't know if it smells bitter, but it definitely has this green tone to it that really like is present. So this is not a safe blind buy, but it is one that I actually love, but I knew what it was going into it. So to me, it's a juicy raspberry. It has this greenness. It has this woody tone to it. It's airy. It's great for super hot weather. It's never offensive in my opinion. So I feel like the dry down of Juice smells similar to Rouge Trafalgar. But I will say that with both of these comparisons, I feel like these two do it better than Juice. Like honestly, I'm probably not gonna keep Juice. I know somebody who really wants this. I'm probably gonna end up giving it to them, but I just feel like even though this is not terrible, it's not what I wanted. It's not what I was expecting. I don't love it. And then I have these two fragrances that I much prefer. So I don't really ever see myself reaching for Juice. Honestly, after I smelled it that first time, I didn't want to wear it. I really just wore it to test it out for y'all. That's the only reason I was wearing it. It was because I wanted to test it out and give y'all a review. But honestly, yeah, I think that if you have these two, you can definitely pass. And I have not tried mixing these two together, but I feel like, again, I feel like Juice is more like Angel Nova at the opening and more like Rouge Trafalgar at the dry down. But in my opinion, both of these are just more well done than Juice. So those are the fragrances that I wanted to cover today. Let me know if you've tried any of these. What did you think of them? Do you enjoy them? I felt like there was a little bit more negativity in this video than what I normally give y'all, but I wanted to be honest. And I feel like that could be helpful. It can help save y'all some money. I am personally a type of person who loves a lot of things. Like I feel like I'm kind of an easy to please person. That sounds bad, but it's really not. It's how you look at it, okay? But anyway, I feel like I'm kind of an easier to please person. So sometimes I don't have super negative stuff to say about fragrances, but sometimes things need to be said. Like, I know y'all want my honest opinion, so that's what I was trying to give y'all. I just don't really like, there's a lot of, I'm on a tangent. Can you see? Anyway, there's a lot of people out here who they produce videos and they talk so negatively about everything. And I don't know if they're just negative in general, or it's just that people love the negative videos. Like, I don't even know what my title of this video is going to be right now, but it's probably going to be something negative because I know that's what y'all want to see. I'm just kidding, but people love videos that are saying bad things about fragrances for some reason. I almost view it that people love those videos because they think they're honest reviews, but being honest doesn't mean that you have to dislike something. You could be honest and love something, but unfortunately we're at this point in our lives where, because reviewers get sent stuff, a lot of people are distrustful of reviewers. Now, whether that's right or wrong, we're not getting into, but a lot of people are distrustful of reviewers, so I get it. Like, when they see bad reviews, I feel like they do trust those more. Anyway, long story long, thank y'all for watching. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Also, make sure you check out all the other places that I am, like my blog, www.simplyayesha.com. Also, I'm on Instagram and I'm on TikTok. I have all my links for my social media, along with links to the products that I mentioned and promo codes down in the description box below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.